Hey guys, welcome back to Fiction Vision. Today we're starting an art challenge on character design to flex our creativity and improve as an artist. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to create a Viking world that will let the creativity flow. By the end of this, I think it'd be awesome to have a big character sheet of all my designs, something like this. Also, I upgraded tablets. Shout out to my wife for getting me the XP Pen 13.3 Pro for my birthday and Prime Day. The tablet also came with this really cool little pen holder, which I really like. I had to promise I would put it to good use, so let's start. On my new tablet, I started up Photoshop and began sketching. To start off, I'm being really loose, focusing on the form and pose of the character. In this challenge, I want to use poses and expressions that allow the character's personality to really shine through. So far, I'm entirely self-taught, and I do this as a hobby on the side. I'm enrolling in Digital Painting Studio's Concept Art Academy led by Hardy Fowler, and I'm so excited to learn processes and methods to take out some of the unnecessary guesswork that I feel when I'm creating. I'm enrolling to push myself and develop a style and workflow for two reasons. One, so that I can be more efficient and focus more on being creative rather than the process of creating. And two, for my work to have a recognizable quality to it. Once I have a good foundation for the sketch, I started adding some detailed line art. At first I wanted to exaggerate the proportions, but it wasn't quite looking right, so I touched it up while I go. During this phase, I was trying to put a little indication to where the light source would be coming from. To do this effect, I make the line thicker to show depth in certain parts. I haven't tried to make polished line art in a while, even though it's probably my favorite part. It was really easy for me to over-render some areas and lose sight of the composition. For those wondering, I'm just using the basic Photoshop round brush and airbrush. I wanted to use this stage of the drawing to make some major design decisions. How many layers of clothes is he wearing, and how would they fold, where would they fold, things like that. Are there details I could add to show and hint at his way of living? I'm really happy that I decided to add another layer with the fur cloak. It just seemed to really finish off his design nicely. Hopefully this is already apparent to you, but my idea for this character is to create the elder of a clan who has a sense of authority even though he might not fight anymore. I named him Gom, and well, Gom used to be a bit of a unit. I drew up a pretty realistic sized hammer for him to lean up on, but I didn't feel it. This guy needed something chunky to heave around back in the day and crush his enemies. One of my favorite things about Vikings is that they have so many layers of clothing. Gom has 5 if you think he might be wearing underwear. This should show the harsh conditions his clan interact with, and it'll be consistent throughout the design and challenge. I like the idea of using Gom's old shield as a prop for his design. I wish that I'd added a bit more to it because I think it could really make it feel like his and personalize it. To begin painting, I filled the line art on a new layer. I'm using this orange with low opacity and flow on the brush. This way I can slowly build up the forms of Gom's face, and it's a method I've been learning from Hardy Fowler's channel, so I'll get more in depth on that as I learn through the DPS Academy. Lately I've been following him on YouTube, and I'll link him in the description. He has a lot of awesome tips, and I find his style and manner of teaching to be easily digestible, and it really speaks to me personally. I might not have executed like I wanted to, but that's okay for this attempt because we're going to compare as I go through the Art Academy and see where I'm improving and utilize the tips that I'm learning. We're definitely going to get some reps in this challenge, and I think that's a big part of art, is just getting reps in and becoming more comfortable in doing certain methods. So here's an area that I steered wrong. I continued using the same method, thinking that it would work well on the clothing. It probably would if I kept practicing and had some more reps in, but I think in the next video I'll use more of the base color and build it up from there. But that's how we learned, so that's alright, we'll keep moving. I'm using the round airbrush a little too much, and it's creating this very smooth digital look on the painting, which I'm not a big fan of. I was trying out a lot of new techniques during this design and was relying a little too much on the textures that I would add towards the end. I applied the same principle to the rest. Now I'm finally at a point where I feel comfortable adding some details and working on the light source more before I tackle the hair and beard. Gom's beard was a massive pain because I didn't start off thinking of shape and form. I went straight into single strands of hair. Once I pictured the hair as larger forms, it worked a lot better for the design. And I almost forgot his eyebrows. To wrap up, I just added a background, some more shading and lighting effects, and a photo texture to really push the design home. These are really just polishing techniques that easily turn into time sinks, but I find that this last 10% of the painting really makes it become believable for me. They seem minor, but they change the whole feel of the character. I'm really happy with the start of this challenge. I think I have a long way to go, but I think through the academy that I'll be learning a lot and will have a lot of good tools to implement as I go. There's a lot I would change here, and I have a lot to practice, but I feel confident that this is the starting point. After a few tweaks to the background, I'm proud to introduce you to Gom, a legendary warrior who's seen his share of battle.